Do you have any advice for anyone in reference to connecting with their foundation, their base chakra, their base energy center?
Yes, definitely. I think there's a couple of things. I think the biggest thing for me was actually healing my relationship with my mother. So that was huge, because the minute that I really let go of perceived harms, and well, they're all on some level perceived harms.
Yes.
But once I let go of that, and I let go of my victimish status that I'd put myself in relation to my mother, and us not necessarily having bonded, because I come from a lineage of kind of not well bonded mothers and daughters, let's say.
Interesting.
And yeah, so there was kind of some inherited wounding there.
Yeah.
Once I healed that, so many of the base chakra issues kind of fell away. So that was the first thing. Once I healed some of the traumas that had happened to my physical body, so many of the traumas. So I say, get to whatever form of therapy or healing or counseling, whatever it is that works for you, get there and do the work on your relationship with your mum. That's the first thing. I think there are lots of really beautiful things you can do around just connecting with nature every day. And even if it's as simple, some days it's as simple for me as just walking out onto my grass, standing 3 minutes, 5 minutes, 10 minutes if I've got it, and just putting my feet on the grass and then coming back inside. But of course, you know, I'm married to a man who works for the National Parks and Wildlife Service, so he's in nature as often as he possibly can. So I'm very fortunate, because he takes us into that space regularly. So I think those kind of things. And then what we've talked about, some of those money stories, some of those other old stories that we've got, if we can identify them first and then find ways to release them, then there are also things that are really clouding the real emanation of that healthy base chakra. So they would be the techniques I would use. And then once you do that, then the natural energy flows and all the benefits that come with that.
And one of those benefits also is the connection to the earth that you said, the peace with your family, irrespective of what happened in the past, because if we're not at peace with our present, we're never going to manifest a peaceful future. That sense of belonging, because if we don't feel like we belong, we're never going to feel safe. And if we don't feel safe, that fear is always going to kick in with every decision that we make. And that's going to invite that adrenaline to come in, because if we're going to be basing our decisions on that fear, high adrenal fatigue. And
absolutely. That's crucial. I just finished doing a bit of work for myself on karmic imprints around belonging, actually, because I was tracing back lifetime after lifetime where I kept losing my community, for lack of a better way of phrasing it. And so I kept finding myself alone. And once I kind of cleared through that thread, then again, another way of accessing the health of the base chakra revealed itself to me that was possible before, and then has led me to make decisions in this lifetime about being more connected in my own community. But while that was still playing out at an energetic level, it was very difficult for me to make different choices in this life.
I understand. That sense of belonging is huge, because those issues never stop coming up. You know, it happens at the beginning with our family. That's the first time that it happens. And then at school, and then with our personal friends, and then with university, and then with work. But then we've got other friends. Do we belong with their families? Our partner, do we belong with their family? Our workplace environments, where we live, will change so many times. So that foundation, that feeling safe of belonging and knowing that our needs are going to be met, is never going to stop happening for us. So, and the ability to then come back to belonging just in our own bodies. Coming home to ourselves.
Yeah, I know for myself that I definitely was that walking head for many years. And the more that I'm able to come into my body and just be an embodied soul, the more that all of the other connections are able to healthily show up.
Yes, yes, yes. Oh, I love it. I love this chat with you. So, Sam, where do we find you, and what's your favourite way to connect with the new people that you work with? Tell us.
So I am easily found at SamanthaNolan-Smith.com. That's the mothership, virtual mothership. Facebook at, again, Samantha Nolan-Smith, and I'm on Twitter at Sam Nolan-Smith. I think Samantha Nolan-Smith.
You're tweeting these days? Oh, you'd be a great person to tweet with.
So, either of those spaces, I really enjoy connecting with people. We're quite a verbal, and I love language. I particularly love those two spaces because I can chat with people, and obviously on my website there's contact for emails and so forth. So
I love, that's wonderful. Sam, thank you so much for joining us today. It's been an honour to chat with you. As always, a pleasure.
Thank you, Patty. It's been beautiful.
Thank you.